What's up, everybody? On this video we're going to be taking a look on what's inside. So real quick, we're going to jump over to the computer screen, and you already know what we're going to be looking at, but just to go over it anyway, we're going to be looking at the INJORA Micro Brushless MBL32 ESC and 1621 Purple Viper motor combination for 1/18 scale TRX4M and the Ascent. Whew, that's a lot, man. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's switch back over. I'm not editing this video, I'm not cutting it, I'm recording it and putting it online, so I hope you guys like it. With that being said, let's get to it. All right, so right here we have the case. Let's get zoomed in and see what we got going on. So when you purchase this bad boy, when it's back in stock or available, this is basically what you're going to be looking for inside your packaging. It's going to come in a sealed box with 2 tamper seals on either side, so that way you know if you're brand new or not. So we're going to take the blade, we're going to go along the edge, we're going to give it a cut real quick. We're going to pull back some of the plastic. All right. So we take the plastic off, and then remember, like I said, we have 2 of the security seals on either side. 1, 2. We're going to cut that off real quick. 1, 2. All right. So now you got all the cool labeling, the INJORA, this, that, and the other. So you grab right here on the top and bottom, and then we're just going to separate the box, opening it up, revealing a basic warning. So before powering on, please set the transmitter throttle trim to 0 at neutral so the remote control can connect to the ESC well. All right, so that's the big warning. So basically they don't want this thing taken off on you straight out the box. And I turned it around, now it's upside down again, so we're going to turn it back around. So this is the cool display that you have it come in with it in the box and everything. It's sitting in a nice little comfortable little thing. You can see the wires in the background, so it's semi see-through and everything. So real quick, just to get a reference, and I did this already on one of my live streams. So this is basically a water bottle cap, Poland Spring water bottle cap. That's what I have right here. Right, so just to give you a size reference on how small this thing is, this is the water bottle cap, and it goes right over it, just exposing the pin and everything. And then the actual size of this thing. All right, so we can get a regular measurement on this as well. So if you guys want to do some placement fitting, see if you guys can fit this in, where you want it. I don't know why the camera's bugging out, but so there you go. That's where it sits that way on the measurement, on a regular ruler measurement, and then that's where it sits on a regular ruler measurement this way. You could do a screenshot. So the motor itself, just the housing is going to be there. All right, so right there, it's not holding still. Give me 1 second. There we go. So that's the measurement on the motor, and then with the actual pin in it and everything, we're looking at a total of right there. Hope you guys can see that. That's the measurement from the front of the pin back. All right. And then this way, it's just under, it's way under a ½ inch. All right. Sorry about the blurriness. I don't know what's going on. The camera can't really focus on the thing, I guess. All right, so we're going to take the motor out. The motor is going to have the 3 regular connecting cables to it. It's not censored, I guess they call that. It is a motor that basically this sits still and the motor rotates on the outside. I'm not a professional. I don't know what that's called. Somebody can leave it in the comments, but any which way, you know what I'm talking about. So we're going to pull this bad boy out, removing all the wires out of the actual plastic holding here. We're going to go through the wire connectors that we have right here, right now. All right, so we have this connector, which is going to be the XT30, and the only reason why I know that is because it's labeled right there, XT30. This is really smaller than the XT60 or something like that. I have another battery that has a connector like this, but it's bigger, and it's called the XT60. So this is relatively smaller. I want to show you guys so I can show you a size comparison. I got it. All right, so this is a what is this? How many cells is this? I think this is a 3-cell, right? LiPo. It's got all the information right there. So this is the XT60. This would be the normal plug that would come on a 110 scale vehicle. So you can see the size difference. It is smaller because when I first seen this, I didn't know that there was a difference between a 60 and a 30 or anything. So there is a significant size difference. All right. So we got that going there. So that's good. Then we have the regular connector for any receiver. I was asked this question during a live. Will it work with a Fly Sky receiver or anything like that? This should really work with any receiver that can transmit back and forth through a radio and everything. There shouldn't be an issue with that. They were trying to explain that it's a little difficult if you're trying to pair it to a, you know, an already, so one of these, you know how they're complicated. Some of the series, they don't let you, you know, override everything and plug in and whatnot. So if you're looking to switch it onto something like that, then do more research and see which ones you can plug it into and everything. If I'm not mistaken, it's all the SCX24 second gen series. So all the new ones that Horizon's coming out with, or whatever the company, what is it, Axio? All right, so then we have the on-off button, and this is basically how it looks. And the button, I believe, turns a couple of different colors and whatnot. We got on KE 1 and 2. I have not really messed with this on my vehicle. I have it in my truck already, but this is basically what we're looking at here for the on-off switch. And this thing is going to be sitting at, should have pulled out for the millimeters and everything. It's just slightly over ½ an inch. So there you go, if you can see that. All right, and then this is the other direction. All right, so if you stick around at the end of the video, I'll show you, I put it in my diamond build, my IR40, and I'll show you how everything was able to sit and whatnot. So those are all the connectors that you have that come with this, and then the motor itself with the connectors that connect to the speed control. All right, so let's get back to what else is in the box. So we have a whole bunch of different connectors that are going to fit a variety of plugs that you got. You got the TRX4M plug right here, so that's going to work for you. That's that one right there. This is a Dean's plug. I forgot the name of this plug, and I forgot the name of this plug, but it has these plugs. This actually is, you can see that there, EC3. I believe that's the name of this one. So this is an EC3 plug if you're trying to get that information. And this one has no label on it, so I do not know. All right. And then you have all the XT30 ends that are going to fit onto the basic speed control. We have 3 zip ties that are paired in with this. All right, so you got 1, 2, 3, and this is all held on with a garbage tie strap or a bread strap if you want. So we have a whole bunch of screws here, and these screws are going to be for the motor to screw into the adapter plate, and then the adapter plate to screw into the transmission. If I'm not mistaken, when I put this together on my other truck, you have 2 of every screw that you need, and then I believe you have 3 of the pinion screws. So those are those little black ones that are in there. that hold that 9-tooth pinion in, and then you have that little Allen key is gonna be the one that you need to, you know, handle those little Allen key pinion gears and whatnot. They do have on their website that they have one that's a little bit better, and you know, it doesn't look like a regular L Allen key. It's, you know, built like this, but it's that Allen key that you need, and it's like 0.09 or something like that. I forgot the number, but it's a crazy low number and everything. So we'll put that to the side. You get that in a baggie. Second baggie that we're gonna get, we have 2 hook and loop doubles with sticky tape on it. We have 2 of those, so you can connect 2 units or whatever. You have 2 options to stick anything. And then we have the actual adapter plate, which I believe is for the TRX4M, also for the Ascent18. I believe that it uses the adapter plate. And then you have the data transfer adapter, which basically plugs your speed controller this way in to your computer via USB-C. Now, I'm going to tell you real quick, just to give you guys a heads up. I used a USB-C to USB-C that I had that came with one of my cell phones. It didn't work, right? I used a couple of USB-C to USB-A, and it would light up, but it wouldn't connect, like the data wouldn't connect. So it's very difficult. Not all USB-C plugs are data worthy, so the data doesn't flow through it. They're typically just charger cables, and that's what makes them cheaper. So if you see a cable and you're like, oh man, that's cheap, and then you see another cable and they're like, oh, why is that one so much money? Look and read if it's a data cable or just a charging cable. So you might run into that problem. It might light up because it's getting the power, but the data is not going through. So just keep that mindful. I was able to, you know, run through a couple of cables, and I got the right cable to connect, and it worked and everything. So everything was fine. I'll do an in-depth about that later. So that's what we get in this packaging. Let's put that to the side. Then what we have here is what looks to be INJORA brushless, blah, 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 installation manual. All right, so if you're good with reading manuals and getting everything done by doing so, you're going to be able to read this and do all your installation and everything. This is the section that I need to pay attention to. So on that on-off switch, it gives you options to change between 6 volt. So that's where I'm sitting right now, because that's where I have my vehicle. And then you have the option between 7.4 volt. All right. I believe that's to send signal or more power to the steering, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. I believe that is the reason, or it's more power to something, but I believe it's more power to the steering. It says number 1, click on receiver battery, follow warning. All right, so transmitter receiver, and this is basically 2S and 3S compatible. Battery needs to be provided by user, so the battery is not included, blah, blah, blah. All right, so I'm going to tell you right now, I've seen a couple of videos, or I think, yeah, was it 2 videos? People were having issues with 2S batteries. I'm going to tell you right now, all I use is 2S, because all I use is the Traxxas batteries and everything like that. So I'm going to move all this out of the way right now, and I'm going to go ahead and grab my IR40, so that way we can see what's going on. And I love it. You guys are all going to see my pajamas, but whatever. So let's get that done. Try and find the remote, and I got it. Alrighty. So this is basically the IR40 that I built with with everything in it from this kit. And then if you're looking for a setup that's really affordable, this controller is only about like $35, and it comes with 1 receiver, if I'm not mistaken. So Very, very affordable, and you get in my opinion, it'll connect to only one vehicle. So if that's what you're doing, I think it's $25, $25.99 or $29.99, and you get the transmitter and you get one receiver. So if you're gonna switch, I'll show you guys real quick. All right, so this is what we're looking at right now, which is basically my IR40. So I'm going to shoot over to the overhead and we'll explain what we have going on here. So let's zoom in. All right, so this whole truck is all INJORA, and the only thing that's not is going to be the battery. This is the 2-cell battery that I told you, and as you can see, it's the TRX4M battery, and it's a 750 milliamp with a 20. Is that a 20C output or whatever? Okay. So I got all the wiring done up. We got the speed controller here. Got the wires for the motor wrapped around, going underneath. And then you can't even see the motor, but it's underneath all this right here. So if I spin this around slightly, you'll be able to see the brushless motor, the purple, peeking through a little bit and whatnot. It's very, very difficult to see because the camera wants to zoom in on everything else. And yes, this is all aluminum. It's the aluminum transmission from INJORA, so it attaches to that. This has the low range gears in it, so we're dealing with all that as well. As you can see, I have the double deck battery holder from INJORA. Love this thing. And I was able to sneak the power on off switch right here. So it's really good the way everything was able to tuck in. I got all the electronics to the front of the vehicle. This is the receiver that comes with this transmitter. All right. So I definitely recommend it if you're just doing a one build real quick. And I have this plugged in because I was ready to do the video. So if you're just doing a one-off build and you're trying to save some money in certain areas, this remote is good, and with the electronics and everything. I don't recommend this if you're going to have a 110 scale vehicle and you're trying to go really far out. This still does have an antenna. The antenna is right here and whatnot. So I don't recommend it. I don't know how far the range is. I don't go that far away from it. So with that being said, just take it as the value as you believe. So just for one vehicle, and I have these in a couple of vehicles. You guys might see me do that because the receivers are very cheap. They're like $6. So if you want to do that like me and have them in a couple of different vehicles, there's nothing wrong with that. The only problem that you're going to have is that when you turn on every other vehicle and connect it after you bind it to the controller, you're going to have to manually change all the settings. So see how the steering's on reverse and the throttle's on normal. If the other car is different, I have to physically change it. It doesn't, and then I have to reset all these little knobs and everything. It doesn't carry over to the next vehicle. So it's really made for a one-to-one vehicle. So if you don't mind dealing with all that crap, then you get to save money in that aspect. Other than that, do more research and you could get another vehicle that has a whole bunch of, you could get another receiver transmitter that has a whole bunch of, it can support a whole bunch of other things. So we're going to turn on the receiver over here. All right, so it's a cool little slide button. And then right underneath, like I said, you see how it's visible? Right there, you can press the button to turn it on. So you press and hold real quick. It turns green. You have a flashing light over here on the speed controller. At first it flashes red, then when it's ready for throttle and everything, it turns green just like that. And then you are good to go. All right, so slow crawl. This thing is going to ridiculously slow crawl because it has the low gears in it. So, take it for what it is. So that's the slow crawl. Steering, I have no issues with. Throttle response is good. And I didn't do anything to change any of the settings in the program except for the reverse on the throttle. So instead of reversing it on here, I reversed it on the program when I plugged it in, which I'll show the program stuff in another video because this video is already too long as it is. What was the other thing that I wanted to explain to you guys real quick? Oh, to show you. You see both of those toggle switches are still on the down position. So I'm only running at what they say is 6 point something volts. So to let you guys know what it's running at with the power running through it, and I'm on 2S, and I'm pretty sure this battery is like really low. But here we go. Climb up the wall here. Yes, I have a rear light out. I know something's going on with the wiring or something like that. But yep. So stay tuned for some more action with this truck. It's pretty good. I like it. If you want to see right now and you can't wait for the installation video, because I want to do an installation video. I did the installation video live with the IR40 and everything that I did here. So that's on the channel. I'll link it in the description below. The other thing that I'm going to ask you guys is, big question, do you want me to do the installation video on a regular TRX4M? I'm going to have you guys vote. You're going to have 1 week to vote. So am I going to do this installation for this mod on a stock TRX4M or on this overly modified TRX4M, which has all INJORA parts on it and everything like that? I'll show you guys real quick up and close. Reason why I want to know, and I am leaning more to do it on the stock system, is because I believe that I'm probably just going to do it on the stock system. So let me know what you guys think, but I want to do it on the stock system because if anybody watches the video and they're trying, they just want to do the first upgrade and they want a brushless motor, me doing it on the stock system will set it up for any TRX4M to date, and you'll be able to put the brushless motor into any one of them and everything. So with that being said, let me know in the comments what you think, stock or modified. Basically will be the comment. I'm leaning towards the stock, but let me know what you guys think. With that being said, I'm gonna wrap this video up. Hope you guys enjoyed it. So you got 1 week from today, which today is Saturday, July 7th, 2024. So by next week is when I'm gonna do the installation video, and hopefully we have a decision then. My name is Hugo with Urban Crawlers. Thank you guys for watching. Later.